Hey guys, what's up? Toboloco here. Welcome back to the Subscriber World Cup for the month of June. We have got a load of good entries here. And just to let you know today that we have got a double Subscriber World Cup for you guys. The second one hasn't got quite enough entries, so we'll have to use a load of small teams. But as you guys know, I like to try and include everyone. So I'm going to do it a little bit differently this time round. This week, someone suggested to me that rather than just going through the matches individually, I should just simulate them off like the camera or off the video and then go back through and just explain the biggest results and stuff like that. I think that's a really good idea because it'll make the video shorter and a lot more digestible for you guys. But before we start, let's get into the names. I'm going to do this as quick as possible. And by the way, just so you guys know that for some reason YouTube has changed the user names on their site. For some reason it doesn't come up with like for some people anyway, it doesn't come up with the actual username. It comes up with what your account name is. So it'll say like @ and then it'll say like a load of numbers and stuff like that. And I'm just like, what? How am I supposed to work with this? But at the end of the day, you should know who you all are, since most of you have been begging for this to come out. And here it is. So let's get through this then. Suriname, represented by Ryan the Gamer Nottingham. Macedonia, Yane Yankowski. Canada, Cutter Historical. Latvia, Ready to Step. In Group B, we have Puerto Rico, represented by Papaya. Fiji, represented by Conrad. St. Kitts and Nevis, represented by C. Eaton. And Indonesia, represented by Rosna Julia. In Group C, we have the United States, represented by three people: Joseph Capobian, Slayer 784, or Fade Slayer 784, I should say, and Bryant Jimenez. Egypt, represented by Abdulovic. Cape Verde Islands, represented by Andrew Fairweather. Denmark, represented by NoobTube. In Group D, we have Montenegro, represented by Ronnie Fensk. Haiti, represented by Edward Miriam. Ethiopia, represented by Liquid Football Edits. And Vietnam, represented by Going Negative. In Group E, we have Venezuela, represented by Lukey Cake. Tunisia, represented by Ivy Trance. Australia, represented by Mario Marroquin. And Scotland, represented by Ryan Brown. In Group F, we have Cameroon, represented by Ebsi. Bosnia was a double entry between Acom and Wasteland Wanderer. Sweden was also another double entry between Marcus Mahanan and Erman Beg. Chile was represented by Tanya Kernahan. In Group G, we have Nigeria, represented by Really Edits TM. Russia, represented by Sean Lamont Tiger. Poland, represented by Jacko Boy. And Norway was a double entry, represented by Madman E and Marcus Hagen 8339. And in the last group, we have Germany, represented by Patrick Mealy and Six Peeps. Brazil, another double entry between Caesar and Cassian. And Italy, represented by Savic Pekovic and Filename. And the Netherlands, also another double entry, represented by Copper Mundial 2026 and Splatskill. So you all know who you are. If you didn't see your name in this one, then you'll be on the next one. Alright then, so like I said, I'm not going to live simulate it on video. What I'm going to do is I'm going to simulate it, like all the matches, and basically just run through some of the highlights and the group positionings and stuff like that. The round of 16 and quarterfinals and semis and stuff like that will still simulate on camera because that's reasonably quick. Alright then, so we simulated the whole entire group stages and this is what happened in our group. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you what's happened here and I'm going to show you some of the most noteworthy results. So Canada and Latvia go through in Group A. In Group B, Puerto Rico and Indonesia go through in Group B. Group C, United States and Denmark go through. Group D, Ethiopia and Montenegro go through in that one. Group E, Australia and Scotland comfortably go through in that one. Group F is Sweden and Chile. Group G is Russia and Nigeria. And in Group H, we'll have Italy and Germany, which sets up a round of 16 situation between Canada and Indonesia, USA versus Montenegro, Puerto Rico versus Latvia, Ethiopia versus Denmark, Australia versus Chile, Russia versus Germany, Sweden versus Scotland, and Italy versus Nigeria. So before we go into the round of 16 simulation, I'm just going to show you some of the results, or all of the results that happened in the group stages. So if you just skim your eyes down and have a look, you'll see some results from your teams and stuff like that. I'll scroll quite slowly. But yeah, we got some decent results here. Venezuela picking up 3-0 against Tunisia. We got 4-0 in there as well. Ethiopia and Vietnam. The main one, I would say, Italy beating the Netherlands 3-0. Germany 2, Brazil 2. Poland beating Norway 3-0. Indonesia beating Fiji 3-1. At least Fiji scored, I guess. What else have we got down here? Cape Verde Islands almost managed to down the USA, but they just lost. And we've got some other results here. Some of them are actually quite basic, to be honest. No real shocks as I'm scrolling down. Germany beating Italy 3-1. Netherlands beating Brazil 1-0. That's a little bit of a shock, I guess. Fiji beating St. Kitts and Nevis. Maybe not too much of a shock. Yeah, Latvia beating Suriname, again, not too much of a shock. Cape Verde Islands beating Egypt, that's a little bit of a surprise. Again, Ethiopia showing how good they were in the group stages. But yeah, nothing too surprising in the group stages of this World Cup. Most of the results were very, very basic. So I hope that you guys enjoyed the new look at the group stages and stuff like that. Rather than me trying to follow and update the results in real time, I may as well just summarize it at the end of the group stages. It's a lot faster and it's a lot more digestible as well. But Germany are the only team that I'm representing now, or following I should say, because 2 teams in that big group stage got knocked out. So yeah, we might not get a final situation if Germany get knocked out here. So we're going to simulate these rounds in real time because I still like doing it. And of course, Germany got eliminated from the World Cup. So that means we're going to have a simulated final, sadly. My fault, I should have followed more teams in other groups. But this means now, this 100% means that we're going to get a brand new winner. So let's simulate it and find out what happens. Russia has won the World Cup against Denmark in the final. I would say that, you know, Russia are technically the biggest side left in terms of star rating and stuff like that, but Russia have won it. So Sean Lamont Tiger is your winner for the Subscriber World Cup of June. I'm sorry that we couldn't watch the final. It wouldn't let me stop the simulation in time, even though I pressed the B button before the final came around. It's a little bit too quick. Hopefully in the second Subscriber World Cup we can watch the final. But yeah, no, congratulations to you, Sean. Honestly, congratulations. It's really cool to see a different team win it. And also, commiserations and congratulations to the people who are representing Denmark. That person or people was, oh, it was one person, it was NoobTube. So congratulations for making the final. Unlucky though, you know, getting to the final and getting eliminated in the final is desperately unlucky. We have Australia beating Chile 3-2. Russia in the end beat Germany 1-0. Canada beat Indonesia 2-0. USA squeezed by Montenegro 1-0. And then Russia beat Australia 2-1. And then we had a derby match between USA and Canada. That finished 2-1 to United States. And then Russia versus United States ended with Russia beating the United States. And then obviously Russia going to the final. In the third place playoff, Italy won the third place playoff against the United States. So Italy was represented by Savic, Pekovic and Filename. So congratulations, you guys came third place. And in fourth place for this first Subscriber World Cup, 3 people came fourth representing the United States. They were Fade Slayer 784, Bryant Jimenez and Joseph Capobian. So congratulations to you guys for making top 4. Wrapping up this World Cup then, we have Sweden beating Scotland 2-1, Italy smashing Nigeria 5-1, Puerto Rico desperately unlucky against Latvia with a penalty loss, 5-4 on penalties, 1-1, and the same with Ethiopia as well. Ethiopia almost did it, but just couldn't get past Denmark, and that ended 5-4 on penalties as well. And then Italy beat Sweden in the quarterfinals, and then Denmark beat Latvia 2-1 in the quarters. And then Denmark with a thrilling result against Italy, 3-2 in the semi-finals. Italy went on to win the third place playoff, but Denmark sadly lost the final. So that was your first Subscriber World Cup. Anybody who got eliminated in the group stages will now drop down into the second Subscriber World Cup. And of course, all the other people that missed out on this one should be in that one as well. So I'll see you there. Alright then guys, we're back with our second chance Subscriber World Cup. These are for the people that got eliminated in the group stages and they dropped down into this one. Kind of like the Europa League of World Cups. And for the people that missed out, let me just read to you the people that missed out. There's not very many. Colombia represented by UnPokeTuber Random. Anguilla represented by Graben 7006. Bangladesh represented by Sir Fluffy, Israel represented by Mr. Krabs and someone else, but their username was, well, unreadable. Nicaragua represented by Voidoff, North Korea represented by CH Carl or Chakal, Panama represented by Hardcore 119, Afghanistan represented by Phoenix Fish, Algeria represented by FB7 Games, Palestine represented by Shedinja or Sejinja, I'm not sure. Hamlet is represented Mexico, and San Marino, somewhere in that group, is represented by myself. In Group H, there's a load of bot teams because 4 people didn't put, like, we didn't have enough people, so sadly I had to put a load of bot teams in there. And so, looking at the groups before we check the results, there's some really random things that have happened in this Subscriber World Cup. So, in Group A, Cameroon topped that group and Brazil as well. Poland going home, presumably on goal difference looking at that group. Unlucky for Poland, North Korea doing nothing. In Group B, Netherlands and Colombia go through. In Group C, Mexico and Israel go through in that one. In Group D, Bosnia and Egypt go through. Unlucky for Palestine, they lose out on goal difference. In Group E, Norway go through alongside Cape Verde Islands. In Group F, Suriname and Venezuela go through. Panama and San Marino going home. In Group G, Afghanistan and Vietnam are going through in Group G. And in Group H, in the bot group, Andorra dominated that one, whereas Swaziland, Vanuatu and US Virgin Islands, well, they all got 2 points, but Swaziland obviously scored more goals. So that sets up a round of 16 situation between Cameroon and Colombia, Mexico versus Egypt, Netherlands versus Brazil, Bosnia versus Israel, Norway versus Venezuela, Afghanistan versus Swaziland, Suriname versus Cape Verde Islands, and Andorra versus Vietnam. So just before we go into the round of 16, these are your results. I will scroll very slowly through them, but if you want to check them out, you can always pause the video if you want to. San Marino picking up an impressive draw against Panama, I can see down there as well. Really, really good result for them. At the moment, no massive shocks just yet. All pretty reasonable results. Israel drawing against Haiti, that's a little bit of a shock there. Palestine beating Nicaragua 3-0. That's a very big result. Cape Verde Islands winning 4-0 there. Norway squeezing by Fiji. San Marino drawing against Venezuela, that's my team as well. So that's really good for me. I'll take 2 points in like playing the World Cup and that. I'll take it. Cameroon beating Brazil, that's a huge result, a huge upset for Cameroon there. Tunisia drawing against the Netherlands as well. Bosnia had a really good World Cup here in this one. Yeah, not as many shocks as I would have liked, but that's fine. You know, it is what it is. And we can go on to the round of 16, which is going to happen right now. So starting off with Mexico versus Egypt, simulate that one. And now we've got the Netherlands versus Brazil. One of these teams, one of the big teams, will be eliminated. Who will it be? It was Brazil, and Mexico went out as well. So Egypt obviously dumped out Mexico. So our final hope for a watch-along final is the Netherlands. So let's see what the Netherlands can do in this one. Against Bosnia. Oh, I just saw that was a massive result there, 4-0, but we'll just keep going anyway. I can see Netherlands have got Cape Verde Islands in the semi-finals. Simulate that one, it was a 2-0 to the Netherlands, which means that the Third place playoff will be against Venezuela and Cape Verde Islands. Simulate that one. Come on. Okay, Venezuela won 3-1. We'll go to it in a minute. Our final for this World Cup is Colombia versus the Netherlands. Before we watch this final though, I know we couldn't watch the last final, which is a bit annoying because obviously a user controlled team did not get to the final, so it simulated it randomly, but this is what happened. Venezuela beating Norway 2-1, Afghanistan beating Swaziland 2-1, Colombia beating Cameroon 2-0, Egypt beating Mexico 1-0, Venezuela then went on to beat Afghanistan 3-0, Colombia beat Egypt 4-0, then Colombia beat Venezuela 5-1 and they're in the final. Venezuela went to the third place playoff and beat Cape Verde Islands 3-1. Venezuela was represented by Lucky Cake, so congratulations to you, you won the third place playoff in the Second Chance Subscriber World Cup. Cape Verde Islands was represented by, if I can find it, Andrew Fairweather. So congratulations to you. You got top 4 in the Second Chance Subscriber World Cup. Reading from the right side, we got Cape Verde Islands beating Suriname 2-1, Andorra beating Vietnam 2-1. Then the Netherlands-Brazil match went to penalties and that finished 4-3 to the Netherlands. Bosnia beating Israel 3-1, but then Bosnia lost against the Netherlands 4-0. And Cape Verde Islands beat Andorra 2-0. Then the Netherlands beat Cape Verde Islands 2-0 to go to the final, and Cape Verde Islands lost in their last match. So let's go and watch this final. Here we go then, the final between Colombia and the Netherlands. All I'm going to do is display the goals or the highlights in this one. I'm not going to give you the full match because the video will be just super long. But just to remind you that the Netherlands is represented by Copa Mundial 2026 and Splatskill, whereas Colombia is represented by Unpoketuber Random. So there's your 2 or 3 finalists, I should say. So at the end of 90 minutes and extra time, the game was still 0-0 with barely any attempts that really sort of threatened either each other's team's nets. So we head to penalties. So let's commentate through penalties then. James Rodriguez with the first penalty for Colombia, and he puts it in for 1-0 against the Netherlands. Can the Netherlands respond? Van Persie here with the first penalty for the Dutch. And he almost saved it, that Colombian keeper there, but it's 1-1. It's Guarin with the second penalty for Colombia. And off the bar and out. That was very fortunate for Holland. And now Schneider can put them 2-1 up in the final. Yes, it's 2-1 thanks to a little chipped penalty. Jackson Martinez now to step up for Colombia. Can he do it? Again, blazed over the bar, and you have to think that this is in Holland's hands now. Robin with the penalty to put him 3-1 up. Robin, and again another one of those penalties. It's 3-1 to Holland. If Colombia miss again, it is all over, and your Second Chance Subscriber World Cup winners will be the Netherlands. Let's see if Pabot can do it. He hits the post, and one awful shootout for Colombia. Unlucky to the Colombians and the people or person representing Colombia. So second place was Poketuber Random. Unlucky, but well done for getting to the Subscriber World Cup final. And your winners of the Second Chance Subscriber World Cup were the Netherlands, represented by Copa Mundial 2026 and Splatskill. So that was your Subscriber World Cup for the month of June. I really hope that you guys enjoyed it. Put your entries down for July. And if you did enjoy this one, give it a like and subscribe. Keep it local as always. And I'll see you guys again for the next video.